You're watching Talonted Productions. You're watching Connect 4.
So here we are at our favorite moments. 12 episodes. There were tons of hilarious moments from the first episode all the way through the 12th. So very early on, when it was just me and Shelman sitting in front of the camera talking, we didn't know what it was going to be. So, we would just talk. And in this particular moment, we were talking about a guy I no longer talk to. This is just before the presidential election, and he was starting to sound like Donald Trump sometimes, where he'd say the blacks. He kept saying the blacks, the blacks. So I kept telling him, don't say that, dude. And he was like, well, I don't understand why, I don't think black people find that offensive. I'm like, I can tell you for a fact they find it offensive. And I will tell you, every black person that comes over here for the next however many weeks, I will have them tell you they find that offensive. So we did, David, don't say the blacks. They've seen black people. What I'm saying is, in the deep south, those people, or the people that say the blacks.
Am I gonna have to do it? Am I gonna have to do it?
Go ahead.
What's his name?
David.
David, do not say the blacks.
David, don't say the blacks.
David, don't say the blacks.
David, don't say the blacks.
Like I said, there were gems from back in 2011 when I was filming in the room we were sitting in. It was me, Shilman, and Carlos just tossing around ideas. And at one point, Carlos and I went out to go smoke a cigarette, and Shilman sat in front of the computer for 30 minutes and just riffed. And I took chunks of that and put it into the first few episodes, which, when you see this, that's what you were seeing.
They talking about chicken. I don't like it. I don't like a conversation. I'm bullshit. I love chicken. Everything. What the fuck?
By the third episode, I had realized we needed to not just play the game, but talk about all kinds of different things. And what better things to talk about than what I'm interested in, which, we're living in the age of comic book movies. There are a bunch of cool movies getting ready to come out.
Like
Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Doctor Strange. By episode number 4, when I had Ashawn on, who is a huge shoe collector, I realized, and at the time I had just bought a new pair of Timberlands, and I'm like, you know what? We could possibly get some advertisers on here, and if nothing, maybe some free shoes. We're going to talk a little bit about shoes right now, because I just got a new pair of Timberlands. These things are beautiful, and I don't know what this material is. It's some sort of composite. Do you have a single pair that you wear more than any others that are what are those?
I wear my my Jordan 4 Olympics, all black, and it has a number 9 on the front, because that's the number he wore in the Olympics. His first Olympics, he wore number 9. That was my Kobe 10s. Every day they're all black. They got the tanks.
Oh, you're wearing the all black too for the gigs, right?
No.
No?
Now, for shows, depending on how long my shows are, if they're local, I'll wear a different sneaker every day.
So also in episode 4 is one of my favorite moments. I call it the Wonder Years moment. Ashawn says, look out for this man. He's like the future of film. And it blew my mind. What do you say to that? Well, in post, I could see the way that I was thinking in that, and I added this. I did it I was thinking what if it was like this Wonder Years moment where I'm looking at it many years in the future, and what he said is the truth, that I was the future of film.
This guy right here, he is the future of film.
I didn't know it at the time, but Anthony Hester was like some sort of soothsaying hip-hop shaman. I did go on to further the industry of not just film, but how people interact with media in general.
I'm just letting you know you are the future of what's going on. You heard it from me, and I've been around for some years. So y'all just watch out for talent, man. Talent production.
Thank you very much.
All right, it's real talk.
It's an honor to hear that.
Tell me real talk.
In episode 5, you know, AC and I got to talking about that show, Sense 8, and there was a lot of, gay sex happening. And he just so happened to say he was getting used to it. These gotcha moments became a thing in Connect 4, and I had to seize on it. It was hilarious.
Sense 8.
Loved it.
Loved it.
Loved it.
Awesome.
Finished it.
It made me very uncomfortable at times.
Oh my
With
god.
the gay sex scene.
Dude.
But you know what?
There's a lot of gay sex.
There is.
But
And
I'm getting used to it, but yes, I'm
AC's
squirming.
getting used to the gay
I'm
sex.
getting used to gay
You heard
sex.
it here first, folks.
So, dealing with the diva, Mr. DeBone, I kept trying to get him to do different things, and you know, one of the outstanding features that he has is his hair. So I was trying to get him to throw it this way, or do some like hard rock, whatever, or even some Vidal Sassoon, anything. And he wouldn't do it. He thought I was trying to make him look queer. And so, you know, I eventually just kept talking to him until I got him to a point where he like finally did something. And then, you know, I stated it very clearly. Put your hair in front of your face, like, and throw it back that way.
I'm not doing none of this.
Why not?
It's fucking queer.
That's
Can't do it.
Dude,
What?
that's part of the fun.
Of what?
We're gonna add moments in. You can't take yourself too seriously.
I'm not, but at the same time, fuck you. Fuck you.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Alright, now do me a favor. Put it all on your face and then whip your head back over. Right. Alright, and now this one with Mr. DeBone, I love. It's hilarious, the whole rant that I go through, but when you see that moment where like the smoke gets blown from the guy on the screen behind us and then it covers him, I don't think most people even notice that, but yeah, it was one of my favorite moments. Quick little awesome edit. Respect our lizard gods, give them our semen and blood, of course. And what else?
Got nothing after
What
that.
else, Mr. Priest? He is the priest. He
Nothing.
came here to bless all of you with his satanic, child molesting ways. And he's a Nazi. And he's about to go have a cigarette. Is there anything else we can scoop on that would make you guys hate him more? And he's best friends with Obama! Obama! Alright, so now in this episode, this was a very serious episode actually for me. I was pretty floored having this guest on, Mad Ills. I'm a huge fan, and I've been messing with this dude for years, and so it was a big deal to have him on the show for me. And it was the first like musical guest that we had on the show, so it was a really big deal, and it set the standard for some stuff. But I can't help myself again with the low-hanging fruit. And in this situation, I found myself, I kept saying, you know, like, and I couldn't get rid of it in the interview because it would have taken away from whatever. So I'm like, well, I got to use that. Like, I look like a broken record or a damaged robot or something. So I went with that, and the result was friggin' hilarious.
Are rushing to it. So all of the people that are doing things like you're doing and this shit, like they're lusting for it.
Yeah.
Because TV's dying.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
found that
Yeah.
these artists that want to be heard,
Yeah.
I can gather them all up and put them in one room.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
educate them and give them insight as to what really is going on, the ones that want to listen, and they're there.
So here we are, all the way up to episode 8, and in this one it was very personal. It was me and my homeboy Dan, Mr. Hayes, and he was talking about his parents, and the only way that I figure I could have that situation like feel the way it felt to me when I was a little kid was having their faces, his parents' faces, in the little exchange that we had. The only way I could do it was like South Park with the little mouth moving, so That's what I did. Check it out.
When we were coming up, when we were coming up
Yeah.
and we were staying at your house, your dad used to yell at us and tell us that we couldn't drink beverages of any kind in the bedroom, and he'd come in and he'd go, hey, you can't drink that inside. So I'd walk out of the house literally all the way. I knew what he was talking about. But I was, can't drink that inside. I'm like, what?
Jimmy, why's the weird kid outside again? What's he doing out there?
He's drinking his water.
Well, we can't control that one. He's weird.
And then also, of course, the Wu-Tang moment. I grew up with a stain in my sink. And I wanted to show people what other clever way to do it than on my web show, Connect 4, which is taking on a life of its own.
But I'm gonna cut away real quick, and this man's gonna see it. I don't know, maybe for the first time. He's probably seen it before, but he's gonna see it for the first time through my eyes, what is in that bathroom. Some people see Jesus in toast, or in the Mother Mary in like wood grain.
You get one of them weird pictures?
I've got something, and it's in the bathroom, and it's been there for years, and we just never saw it.
Oh, wait, look at
Check
it.
it out. Some people see Jesus Christ in bread, or like on a wood, you know, in the grain of some wood. But I saw the Wu-Tang symbol in our bathroom sink growing up. Yeah, there's these chips, like paint chipped in it, and this one just so happens to look like the Wu-Tang symbol. Wu-Tang! Wu-Tang! Wu-Tang, motherfucker, in my sink.
So then there was the awesome episode where I had John DePrima from Arc Attack on, and the Robot King beat, and his eyes started going batty. I love that. Little moments like that, you can't duplicate it. So then, the following episode, here we are with Lily Falco, and what an amazing woman, and she's totally on point. But then there was that moment, just that one moment again, the low-hanging fruit. She was like, "Oh, I'm such an extremist when it comes to this," and I had to seize on it.
When spay neuter becomes more prevalent and people start doing it, I mean, I'm kind of a extremist in that regard. I'm an extremist.
And then episode 11, the funniest one yet. That episode didn't take very long to film at all, but it was really hard to get through it because Keith fucking Jackson was making me laugh the entire time. You know, he was, he knew that everything that I do in this show is dependent on what we do as we talk. So he would make the lower thirds do things to him or do things to it.
I mean, when you're talking to the most beautiful girl in the world and you shit your pants when she goes to powder her nose, you don't want that ever to happen again.
You don't have that problem.
Man, no. I drink all the whiskey in the world, and I never shark.
Go check out Blunt Conversations or any of the Whiskey Sharks music videos. Right there. There you go.
Here's me fucking it. Here's it sucking my dick. Alright, anyways. Words to live by.
So if you guys are booking agents or if you know of any places that are looking for bands to play occasionally, check them out at
Sharksville.com. I'm not gonna spell it, it's gonna be spelled here. Here's me coming up from behind and fucking it.
which brings us to what this is. I was building a website. I needed an opportunity to get all these people together, to tell them what I wanted to do with them. Sounds dirty, I know. And also develop the effects that I wanted to be on the website. And the only way I know how to do that is through a creative medium and by creating something. And I created something, and that is this unholy creation that you watch right now, Connect 4, that will continue on into the future. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy, please subscribe.